this bow. Good day, welcome back to Do It Now, and No Rest for the Wicked. We're doing a Let's Play with Ladro here. We are now sort of approaching the mid-game space with level 14. And we're going to make a bit of a shift today about how we do this. So I'm going to join the Do It Now realm, make sure that I'm in the right place. So each of your characters has an inventory, and each of your characters can travel to the different realms. So, loot table on this is a random number generator, an RNG, and we have been working pretty good at it, and we've gotten this Siren's Call bow, which is quite good, honestly. Damage 45. We have these dual daggers, and we have these claws. But we've been really trying to get a quiver and looking at other bow options out there because we were struggling with amount of damage that we can put out. So, I happened to, on another character, hit random number generator and do well. So, see how this one is gold? Sort of background border like this? Because we filled it with gems. There is another tier that's all positive, and it's this one here. Lacquered bow. But it has no gems, and it's still, shiny and gold. So I found this on another tune. It's level 12, and it requires 36 dexterity. We are at 33, but you will see in just a moment that we can still use it. I debated, hey, do we keep honest about what gets dropped on this character, or do we make use of the other ones? But I am going to bring it in because I want to progress this save quickly for the sake of views, and I also want to kind of show some really good examples of what bow combat can be in this game. Secondly, I found a quiver on another character. Same explanation, same rationale, I brought it over. This one basically allows you to fire lightning arrows when equipped with a bow. So I'm going to bring both of those out for a moment. I'm just going to quickly throw them on. So I'm going to take the claws off for a minute, throw that one there, throw this one here, and I am going to swap the claws for the daggers. Now, I've played with this a little. I'm going to do this and that. Okay, I am going to put the daggers away in the box for the moment. Let's go out and have a peek at what this can do. One convenient thing about this house location is that just up this ladder, which is admittedly a long ladder, we can get over here and go to the training dummies. And we can also get to the rookery from up here. Okay, so this is our old bow that we were working with before. It fires 3 arrows, but I want to show you this before. Before we had a quiver, it was just firing 3 arrows, and you can charge them up and get a bigger hit in, and that was a crit as well, so even bigger. But now that I put the lightning quiver on, there's this splashy lightning damage on every hit. And that's going to have a bit of a status effect and sort of build up on people. And this one had the triple shot. It had a jump up, shoot one. That's not bad. Let's build up a little bit more. Focus again. Right there. And that one, which is quite good. So this one's still quite good at range. And we did upgrade it with full gems now. So, it does all these things. So we're going to hold on to that as like a long distance bow. But this new one that I brought in, instead of shooting 3, it shoots 4. And it spreads the 2 out. So great for crowd control. Great for, like, especially with the splashy lightning. It's going to be really good for the sirens. So I'm going to keep this one out as like a mid-range. Keep the other one as a long range, and then keep the claws out for when we need to get real close and start chopping. But I do want to show you a cool thing this can do with the runes. So all the rune slots on this bow came pre-filled. And what they do is, X is a fire arrow. So that's going to leave a burn effect. See the dot ticking away. Y is a cold arrow, which will freeze your target and slow them down. B is a lightning arrow with a lightning strike coming down occasionally, but of course our regular shot has lightning anyway. And then A is plague. And they only cost 19 to fire. And you build up pretty fast because you're hitting more. And this one doesn't have a charge up, but let me burn my stamina tree. Like you get 5 big splashy hits. And if we compare the damage, this one is 58 right now. Oh, sorry. This one is 45. And this one is 58. And even that 58, you see how it's red? Once we hit 36, which we can do in one level because we're at 33, that will be the crossed out number under the 58, which is 73. Also gains Hunter's Mark, crit, physical damage, so huge, huge upgrade for the mid-game especially. It's like mid-range especially. So I'm going to use this, even though it did not drop from this playthrough. And I think that's going to be okay. So we're going to come down the loop. We're going to talk to Captain Randolph. This might be enough to be able to now deal with Darroch. But let's progress in the Nameless Pass. Actually, you know what? We can just head out and do it. We'll make some food out there if we need to. How are we doing? Yeah, we're in pretty good standing. Oh. My mistake. We do need to talk to Captain Randolph. Just so that we can get the bounties and challenges for the day and week. I've not been playing this game as much anymore. Some of my sort of weekly sessions have sort of fallen through the last couple weeks. So I may be a little rusty in this, but we'll get ourselves back up to speed here. And we'll keep progressing through the Nameless Pass. There we go. Let's have a look at what that gave us. Ooh, 2 Plague Acres right here. Very tempting, but there is one deeper in. So let's see if we can get to Man Down. That's a pretty cool space. So I will take this handy new elevator to get back up. Very nice. Always a little bit of sort of 2% low jitter something as you transition off of the elevator, or just being around the rookery seems to do that. Unfortunate, but fine. Oh, the temptation is to put some gems on this bow. Well, we'll do that in just a moment here, because we'll just unlock this. Oh, we already have it. We'll get back up to speed. It's going to be alright. Let's quickly head to the marketplace and just throw some gems on it based on what we have available, which I think is pretty minimal. So we're probably not going to be able to fill it, but if we happen to have something tasty, it'll be nice to get that going. Let's see if this guy's got them.
I see you live to shop another day.
Bye. Usually has some gems of some description. Not today. I do not mind buying some research papers. Very useful progression.
You will be half as strong as my word.
Yeah, I don't want to do a real town tour. I just want to
life and death in
throw
the
some
balance.
gems on that bow if I
Let's dip
have
the
some.
scale, shall we?
Wonder if you can gem a quiver as well. So that's infuse that I'm looking for. It's this glowing bow. And what do I have? Focus regeneration. One of the best gems to have on a weapon. So I'll throw that on, and I am going to keep those enchantments for now. So this is a heavily enchanted bow. I could have also put in one of my gems that increase the enchantment capability, so basically just beefing up those enchantments. But I think it is important to have some focus generation, and that's typically on my weapons, so it may not, you know, you don't get the buffs for weapons that you're not currently holding, right? So you got to make sure that your weapon that you're holding has that, and that's a key item for me. It just means I can enter combat with all of the focus I need. But look at that. Okay, let's see. What can we make? Not a lot. So we need some herbs more than anything. We are going to keep collecting wood. Yeah, that's going to be handy for dealing with peeps. Definitely collect that as well. Firebrand berries. Oh, I wasn't looking at the right place. The fish is still late, so the circle is going to be at my character. It's funny, even though I have the bow out, because that is my tool, or my other weapon, I keep the claws on, even though I'm not currently using them. I thought for some reason there was like 3 arrows sitting off of my bow, but it was just the Wolverine claws there. Okay, I'm not going to get every little piece, but this is always a handy little area to pick up. Oh yeah, I'm gonna like this bow. I like the fire because that dot ticks away quite nicely. So that's still closed. I'll have to get up there. Yeah, so that's going to make combat quite a bit more interesting to watch, I think. And also quite a bit faster to progress. I know that early in the series, you know, like the early game for some of these, it's quite slow to kind of wait for the stamina to come up and pick away. I think we were doing, you know, 6s and 7s of damage and stuff, and now we're into the, you know, 70s and 80s and 90s on crits. So it's climbing up nicely, which is what you want to see. Look at that, still frosty over there. Oops, let's grab this. Okay, so we went around the side and we unlocked that path before, but now we're going to go this way. Come down. Put that dot on him. Freeze him as well. Very nice. You can get up to this area from a few different places. So you can also climb to it from the top of that house that we were just at, which you can get to from that ladder down on the other side. So lots of different ways to get to the same place. I'll show you briefly where we are, just to orient on the map, now that we're unlocking it a bit. Just going to loot this stuff. Okay, so we last time kind of came down here and dug in this little quarry space and went through this garden, which is always nice to pick up. I guess I died over there as well. Hidden room under there. So we can get to this area by, here's that house we climbed into, ladder, over and up. Or in this case, we went hopping across this up here and wall climbed over. So either way we get here, this is a bit of an awkward one to climb up, just because you have to match the angle and the angle changes. So it's not just like straight towards camera, away from camera. That's super nice to have. This is a huge difference. And next level up, we'll probably just feed... they just get yeeted. The bodies don't even hear anymore. A bleed infuse. Nice. Oh, a reading one. Okay. Day 15. Surveying this troubled isle. A range of inhospitable rocks juts from Sacrament's eastern edge, curious to see the workings of the island's industrial heart. I made for the quarry that teems within the Nameless Pass. What I found there were conditions so vile I wished we were back in the keel of the Apollonian. Heaving my guts into my satchel, the quarry employs deviant laborers who are forced to mine ore at the bloody end of a whip and rod. A disquieting spectacle, but hopefully just a hiccup on my survey. So we have some slave/indentured servitude. Oh, these ones that pop out of the ground. Nice. Those are usually a bigger problem. So this bow is a pretty significant upgrade. And, oh no! I thought I had sidled, but I had not. Well, I guess that'll be another cold open where I drop to my death. Let me know if you are finding those entertaining. I think it's funny to just sort of mix in some of the buffoonery that happens. You know, sometimes you get a really coordinated and smooth combat, or you get, you know, a really nice shot in, and sometimes you don't, and you end up falling to your death. Oh, you know what? There's a sizable chest in here to worth grabbing most times. Yeah, some spots. You know what? I'm gonna pop that as well. So this is... oops. This is an experience potion. I'm just going to use it. And then I'm going to move stamina. Focus gain. I'm going to put stamina in my slot to use with the small vials for now. So if I ever am kind of stuck and I don't have any stamina, I can just pop that vial and get a bit more for like 3 minutes. Good for certain combats. I kind of like having these claws out all the time. I don't know how they operate a bow with that going on. Okay, so what we were supposed to do over here is do a little sidle action. Where is it? Y to sidle. Come on. There we go. Wait for the character animation. And then we'll come around. And besides collecting mushroom soup, it's giving us this view down into the elevator at the back and the crane. And that control latch at the very bottom right, which is what's going to open that particular gate below us. But we're working on a different gate at the moment. We'll get over to there in a moment when we get a chance. Let's get it burning. One down. Let's get a little stam going. Just sends them flying. So you notice just having the quiver is quite an improvement. But the quiver and a heavily enchanted bow is creating quite a change in our combat capability. Oh, it's a rat. I thought it was a little small chest. A couple late shots, so we didn't get full resources out of that. Nice little viewpoint, though, as well. Sometimes the vista kind of is the prize in some of these titles. So it looks like we can go up to the right, but I'm also going to go left first. I'm going to slow him down, so ice is the right answer. We killed a wild animal behind us as well. Normally I'm not into unnecessary violence, but it's working well in the context of this game. We do definitely need to keep the food flowing. So now that we're in this area, we're mining iron. Okay, so check this out. Dexterity is at 33. The Lacquered bow's damage is at 58. 1 point. 58 goes to 62. Someone's crawling at me. 2 points goes to 69. 3 points goes to 76. Now that extra jump is because we were not meeting the requirements of that weapon before. So if you just add more dexterity, it's going to make your weapon more damaging. And that's helpful. But if you were not able to wear it and getting restrictions on your damage because you were underskilled, then it's a significant damage increase when you then suddenly can meet the requirements. So now we are at the requirement for that bow, and we're getting a pretty significant damage uptick, I would suspect. Okay, nice fire here again. This is a better view down into that corridor. Again, just off to the side, easy to walk past without grabbing, and sometimes the main resource is just a couple of pine trees. Or no, not pine, these are spruce, which is handy for the next stage. And then here, let's see what we can craft now. This mushroom and meat curry is handy, but you do need rough cut meat for that, which is typically gotten from the rats and creatures and stuff. But then with the extra, yeah, really not getting a lot of Artemisia herbs. Save those for the other ones. See this big drawbridge to the right? So we're going to have to kick that down when we get a chance to from the other side. So we're going to keep climbing for now. There's a rat. Chance at some rough cut meat. Again, ladder up here. It needs to be kicked down to us. We're not going to be able to get over there for the moment. So that's kind of the end of this area. But now when we come down here, there's this jump spot. So that's the Artemisia herbs we need. Yeah, this is going to make combat a lot faster. Deal with that. Definitely had some slow growing pains with bow combat, and I was pretty convinced that it would scale well at a certain point, but it was slow. Remembering also that we are on the sort of toughest difficulty that this game currently offers, and that this is, you know, certainly considered a challenging game. Okay, lots of extra islands beyond the ones we sort of needed to complete the quest, which is just this one. So all of that to the left. Ooh, Wretched Archer tunic. I believe I am already wearing Wretched Archer pants. Yes. Helmsman's tunic, which is nice because of all this, the gems that have been placed on it. 30%. Oh, it will cross me into heavy because it is leather. Oh, I'm already into heavy. Uh-oh. Okay, we'll have to get a weight reduction ring of some kind just to get out of heavy. So no weight increase. 30% armor increase. And we can always go back and gem it and remove the enchantment if we wish. Look at that. Style-wise, it is there. Health regen, stamina, focus cost, stamina recovery. That sucks to lose, but I think it's going to be okay. So let's be a proper Wretched Archer now instead of that sort of random sailor dude. Although we did arrive by boat. But actually that portion was not recorded because we did not do the tutorial. This being my fourth character. Oh, okay, so we can get across to that, but then we'll have to climb back up again. Sure. We need these herbs. Do one of these. And we can see just the climb is not going to be too significant this time. Almost look like a spot we could get in under there. We come across to here and over. So our stamina is still regenerating, sorry, as it always would. Our focus and health is regenerating out of combat, which is super, super handy. Oh, that one has something in it. More berries. Let's keep climbing up. I feel like with these claws it makes sense that we can do these climbs. Okay, there's some tricky drop-down spots from this area. But there's also some important things to do. There's also some really easy ways to die up here by going the wrong place. So let's kick this ladder down first. It's going to give us access to get back up here easily from where we were before, when we were at the top. Now we're going to come down this elevator, and this will let us come back up here quite easily. As soon as you step on the middle pad of these, to that sort of plate, you can get up here. I'm going to let the elevator fall down the rest of the way, so that I can get on here and snag this. Decent chance I fall to my death on the process of doing this, but let's try here. Good. Good. Loot that one. Yes. Oh, come on. Yep. Okay, and we're down. So, first thing I want to do is capture this whisper. This one I believe is not... Yeah, it's going to require resources. So this is a good example. This pine wood that we've been building up, right away, that's half of your resources contributed. And then I'm going to go over here in the food items. And because we've been... I find mushrooms are useful for other things, but because we've been low on herbs, we haven't been making the crab meals. So I'm going to use that to fill in the gap. And that's going to allow me to evoke the Whisper, which is the term they use. Whisper evoked. And now if I look at the map, I'm now above this gate. And this Whisper is now yellow, just like this one. And that means I can fast travel to it at any time from any other Whisper. So we're going to go down here and clear our way to the gate. Oops, he got right through that, didn't he? Throw a fire thing at him. It's nice when you have a dot that you can just kind of dot up each one of the people and come back and deal with them later and let that tick away so that you're doing damage on two of them at once. Very handy. He might already be dead, he just doesn't know it yet. Yeah, here he goes. Oh no, he survived. Often they are sort of dead man walking, because the dot is enough to take their remaining health and they don't have the ability to heal. So we're going to go up first, up here, and across, and over, and pull this. Remember we saw this from up top. That's going to open the gate and give us access. And this gate leads down to this quarry space, which is great for grabbing iron, which you need so much of. This one, whenever you get these glowing sort of goldy yellow ones, I find they have a decent chance of giving you gems and gear and stuff. So they're worth snagging. And again, while I don't want to like overly do too much repetition, for the sake of just showing this game off, something like this. Oh, found the creature in the middle. It's so much resources, especially for cooking. The herbs that you can get from here alone are super good, and it's just going to keep us operating so that the next time we go to one of the fire pits to cook or do it from the house, we have way more food available. And the main thing is just you don't want to end up in a situation where you're in combat and you have, you know, remaining consumable food that you can eat for the sake of regenerating your health in combat, but just, you know, have an empty bar and you don't have any food to actually be able to pull into that situation. That's a real troubling thing, and it usually leads to death. So that's best avoided, in my opinion. Good to have a good supply of food. So we got this part at the gate. There's another little jumping puzzle here to do, which we also saw from up top. And it has this. And then you grab this. Oop, I got a hold. And we're going to go straight across to here. Jump. Jump. Oh, I missed it. Find that this one is one that sometimes takes several tries. Oh, we're going to move this a little bit. I don't think we have the height to get to that one. So we're going to aim for there. Yeah, there we go. Straight up. Collected. Nothing to kick down here, because what we're doing is jumping back onto the crane. Tight roping this. Oh, I stepped on the wrong spot. So we're going to walk down that little spar a little bit, and then do a jump over to the platform to loot the additional chest. These I find are best walked, and then I'm just going to... Oh! I wonder if those are not steps. And I do actually have to just jump from that center column. Do one more attempt at this. Yeah, oh! Just got the vault. Very nice. Those roots are for potion making at your alchemy table. Now we're going to go up again. And we're going to come down this way. Block from the other side, that's fine. So because we're coming into combat already having some focus, and because those elemental shots on this particular bow only cost like 19 focus, and we have 140, we're able to basically open combat with some of those quite effective elemental shots. So we're coming this way. We're going to kick this ladder down. Super useful space, and I'll show you why in just a minute. These, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately necessarily, they're copper instead of iron. So they're not the highest value metal that I currently have access to, but they are very helpful in terms of sort of filling in the gaps. And if you have extras and you don't need it, you can always just feed it to the portal. It is quite satisfying to be able to just break them in one smack. And now this is going to open this other gate. So we'll have a peek again. We came up and around the top here. So we explored this whole area. And then from here we dropped down this elevator. Got this whisper, came down, unlocked this gate. And then with the jumping puzzle, we were able to get over this and down into here and kick down this ladder to get into this space. But we're all sort of under this right now. There's an overworld piece and there's an underworld piece. So where we come out now is this second gate. But also, this room comes out here. And I'll show you why that's important in a moment. And it comes out here to access the top end of that. But also, up here, you can climb on this one and get across. And there's another little hidden chest up here that gives you a view over this whole next area that we're going to explore. Okay, so this is the next place we're going to head down to. It's quite a big open area. And then there's a cave sort of in behind where you see that whisper in the top left, just under my nameplate. So we're going to start exploring that area, but as we go, like anywhere in this game, we're going to work at unlocking some shortcuts for us to get back safely when we choose to do so. So first I'm going to come across. I don't want to drop down just yet. It's totally fine if you do. I just want to deal with these people up here first. I just shot a barrel in the middle of combat. Oh, I did end up dropping down. That's fine. So this is what I did want to show. Oh, just one more here. Good. We've been up this area before, but now we can kick down this drawbridge and open this chest. And where this has given us is this connects back to the opening area, to the start of this whole zone. Oops, just dropped down. Well, all the more reason. Now I can show you what I mean. So if you do happen to fall down there, unfortunately you have to run back down to the bottom of this little area before you can get back up. But this is also a useful loot zone. Sometimes there's a mob down here as well. Doesn't look like that now, or maybe I already killed him. So if you come up here, this is a pretty good one for just running across. So run, hop and run. Ow. Very nice. And again, keep holding A. Darn, didn't do it. Sometimes it'll do the hops for you just by holding A and up at the same time. Sometimes, for some reason, the lip doesn't want to trigger the jump or whatever it is. So we have lots of different ways to get back over there. We can hop across those, but also, now that we've done this, we can do this hop, and now we're back up here again in this room. And we can go back across and finish this last person up here. Little loot area, but also I want to see what we can make now. Some more stews, or curries. And looks like some trout. Good enough for now. Keep us in supply. We'll keep an eye out for those herbs. It's always a good idea to collect them, basically any stage of the game. At this stage with this axe, if we're single hitting, that's going to be pine. If we're double hitting, that's going to be spruce. I just kind of wonder what it's like for these mobs to be standing around in some guard position. And then some creature with this bow and this these super long arms shows up and just one-shots a tree with an axe. That's got to be an intimidation. Here we go. And we've been up top there before when we were unlocking the ladder that goes into the whisper that enters the start of this area, which is called this one here. I forget. Dust something road. Dust road. Okay, keep progressing. We're gonna go up here and unlock yet another gateway into that big mining area. So get a dot going on both of them. Shut him down. Another dot. Send him flying. To the right is that gate I was talking about, but we have to do a couple things first before we can get up there. But I'm also going to show you an additional loop. There's a few of them here. This, near the end game, will end up being a bit of an elevator. That's why it has that shape. We're not there yet. Sidle along. Have a little snack here. Going in. Here's the Whisper. This one, because I just fed one, I may not have enough to do it again so soon. Copper's at face value. That's pretty good. I will eventually need more mushrooms, and herbs are always useful. That's when I don't use the potion stuff. We got lots. Let's use them up. This is a useful one to have. Because it does lead to this little tunnel here. So there's a hollow in here. We don't have a quest to go there right now, and we don't currently have a task in there, but it's going to spit us back out over here at Cave. And up top there's this Whisper, and it seems like, oh man, I want to get up there, but you're not going to get up there not until later on. Early phases of the game, there was some sneaky ways to drop down, but those, I believe, have all been patched up now, and you will get up there when the story says you're ready, and not sooner. So for now, I'm just going to drop down. I'm not going to do that cave until, well, maybe there's going to be a quest to go through there, and then we'll pick up that cave. If not, we'll do it shortly. But for the moment, I'm going to leave it. Through here, I always want to check under a waterfall. There's some sirens in here, but there's also some fishing spots. Again, looking at my character for the circle. Perfect grab. Love to see it. Hopping over. As usual, bows are excellent from altitude, from a little bit of height. This one is nice too because it doesn't have any knockback like that other one we had before. Fire effects won't stay ticking while the people are in water. Those sirens didn't end up splitting. They just died. Sometimes if you can freeze them, that'll mess up status effects like splitting and regenning. I wonder, what does that look like? Crestfallen Archer Cap. It's an improvement, and it's not a weight change. That does definitely look more archery. But I currently have, oh, just a bit of barrier. It's not particularly upgraded. It's definitely less exciting. Pine fishing rod, we already have that. You know, for the interest of having a bit of deviation from my other characters, let's wear this for the moment. Does it? Well, let's get off the, so we don't drown before we go in our menu. It needs some abilities. Yeah. So definitely looking out for gems, so I can keep upgrading this equipment. I don't know if this is going to be the finish hat, or if there's, hey, maybe there's a Wretched Archer hat, and then we can be Wretched instead of, what does this one make us? Crestfallen Archer hat. So these little hoppy hops can lead us back up to where we were before, but we don't need to get up there because we already looted that space. And then the next way to go is up here, which leads back to this same area. Sometimes those stalagmites will have little blue dots inside them. Not today. This one, I don't think ever opens. I'm not sure. I don't want to make absolute statements. Okay, so we're coming back to this zone. And this area here. There is more to do up top, so let's pop there for just a moment. This one has a decent chance of killing you in the process, which makes life interesting. You can see all those little dropping spots along the way. We're going to try to get down into some of those. I don't remember exactly where to drop down. This is something you can definitely look up. Or just watch me fail. Oh, don't jump so far. Nope. So, careful sprinting near an edge. I was just trying to walk fast, but ended up just leaping off of the edge. So, because we've done these fast travel things, we can fast travel to Quarry Elevator from that one there, which speeds up our process. So now that we climbed up that elevator last time, this elevator's the next one. Easy enough, they just alternate. There we go. Let's do this, but, you know, better. Okay, so I'm just going to walk down here. Very nice. I'm liking the status effects that these are applying. And I like having access to all of the different elements on one bow. I was worried that because it's not like a big charge-up shot or like something really splashy, that I wouldn't like the runes on this bow. But I think because the main attack is so splashy, the fact that the runes are single target is fine. And the fact that these runes apply appropriate elemental effects is absolutely great. Cleared that. Trees to cut. Herbs to collect. I love how the vegetation is built in and moving nicely in part of it, and then it just kind of fades away and you clear up spaces and you get kind of used to what that all looks like. So here's, you know, there's the waterfall that we went in behind. You can see the whisper in the background. That's the one that we cannot access just yet with the ladder to kick down. We'll have to work on that. And same here, there's a drawbridge over here, which, again, we're not going to access just yet. Often you get to these little places, and then you have to sort of work your way quite a ways around to get back to them again, but to be able to unlock them. Oh, level up just from doing that. So, first thing I want to do on this level up, have a look at the top right where it says heavy. 1 point here and I'm back down to normal. So that's huge. And I am going to feed some of my other stuff just because I was feeding dexterity pretty solid last time. And I want to round out a little bit now and be protected. Now this one I don't think I can summon. I want to be able to get down to that block. So the way I'm going to do that, that's too far to fall there. Can I get up onto this one? Yeah, that's good. Oh, I can't really see what I'm doing. That's dangerous. Well, if this doesn't end up doing what I want, then I can always change out and do something different. But I think I have to drop down the wall progressively. That was pretty good. Okay. I went too far and not quite in the right spot. But that's okay. We'll come back up there afterwards. I was able to open that door, which again is connecting to here. If we recall, down into this mining room. And oh, there we go. I just splashed down and killed myself. Okay, let's progress through the quarry from this area here. We do have a little character we can meet over here. That's where we were on that landing. Let's talk to Malik.
You're not the Inquisition. You're something else.
He seems like a pleasant
Came
individual.
like a fire, not seeing, only burning, marching toward the mountain gate. Left us to die. But some prisoners fled before the madrigal came. Sought safety in the Serum ruins to the north.
So he's talking about the Inquisition coming through.
They were the worst of us all. The Riven twins. If the Torn don't kill you. Oh, they surely will.
Good representation of a character who's been driven mad by events of the story. Oh, he got me with that. I do think there might be still some value to a spear shield combo. You can see how much reach that mob had. See that ladder up ahead, or the crane? Those are things that, like, if you see them in the first glance, in the corners of your sort of peripheral vision, that's often the key to just being aware that they exist, so you can come back later and find another angle to collect them from. Ow! Threw a freaking javelin into me. That was rude. So I popped a potion there on the way. See how one of my tools is broken? It shows that little symbol there. Check this out. Go into repair powder, which I find you'll get quite a bit of. And just go ahead and use one. And that'll get rid of that symbol and make sure your tools are still working. So you can harvest materials and do whatever it is you want to do with them. So we can't quite climb up from the other side. But we can climb up from here. Grab a herb, and we're going to go across this bridge. But before we do, there's a whole climbing space here. And a hidden door if you break that. That doesn't seem to really lead to anything right now. But if we climb up here and go this way, here is that crane we were showing before. And we can use it to get on top of the house that the madman is in. And not really much else. So, oh no, sorry, there is one other thing we can do with it. The grab handle right here. Come on. Oh, he wants to shoot. There we go. Gonna do this. And now we can grab onto this and get all the way up here for a bonus piece of iron. And a nice view down to another gate that we're going to work our way towards and unlock. Nice to have the landing here. We're going to go from that to this and down. Good to clear him from a distance. Artemisia herbs are the main for the lower level food, which is what I'm mostly consuming right now. Excellent to have. I like that those lightning... Ooh, I almost missed that one. Look at that creature just sitting up there. Okay, so that's that bottom area. Now we're going to go up to the next little loop. This one has a complicated puzzle to solve. Something might happen in this field. There we go, yeah. Dirty work. One of two. Is there going to be another one? come back to that in a moment and find out. That's one of Randolph's sort of quests. Under here we can get this. But right now you can see there's a ladder we need to kick down to be able to get up there and open this gate. So we are limited at the moment. We'll work our way. There it is. Yeah, we got a bounty completed. Excellent. Now right here we climb up. Lock from the other side. So we can use this area to do a double jump here. Hey, jump, dude. Show you that again. Oh, look at that. Hidden iron underneath. A little late. Still got one out of it. Jump. Sometimes there's chests up here and more loot. So we gotta clear this area up here first from mobs. Excellent. Always worth grabbing the metals. Iron, especially for city construction, you need so much of it. But then you kind of keep needing it for a little while. And then it'll switch to silver, and that'll be kind of your endgame metal as far as this game has progressed so far. I don't know if you're seeing the jumping puzzle yet. See if you're paying attention. And the bridge here, how the gate is stopping us from being able to proceed. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is bring this all the way around so that we can jump this way with it. Like that. That feels good. And then we're going to come up here. Get across to it. Nope, I missed. Try to get right to that corner. Oh, man. This is definitely one of those ones that's easier to do in two-player. Have a buddy help you out. Right to the corner and corner off here. Good. So now we can kick this down so we never have to do that again. Which is good. And we'll come up here. Loving that combat prowess with this bow. So let's do this part first, and then we'll come back and deal with the rest of the jumping puzzle. We're back at the bridge and this area. So now if we come across, we've opened the gate there, and that's a permanent open. And if we kick this, we've kicked the ladder down, and that's a permanent open as well. So we're right here. So now this whole zone and this whole quarry are connected through this passage. So we've opened up those three major gates. Sometimes there's a tightrope item at the end of this sort of diving board here. Now, we want to proceed sort of up and out. But before we do, we're going to bring this all the way past and to about here. And that's going to let us get into that upper area. So we don't, there's not a big span, so you don't need to like park it so carefully like we did with the first crane. But this whole area up here has a few extras. Oops, careful. And we've seen this from the crane space. And we get another piece of flavor text. Be careful, said the villager. That fish cake has sat out on the shelf for quite some time. I couldn't help but smile at the villager's caution. I'm Sulin Froth, I remarked. I've summited the Nameless Pass and with nary a pickaxe. I've skinned sirens and dueled with risen raiders. But I thank you for your warning, and I swallowed the fish cake in a single bite, wondering what it must be like to live in fear. Book finished posthumously from Adventures in the Wild by Sulin Froth. So posthumously, if you're not familiar, means after his death. I think that's to presume that the fish cake, despite all his adventures, was the thing to have done him in. Okay, so we're going to do a gap fill again here. This time we're going to go right about here. I feel good about that. Jump. Jump. We got a rat. And now we have an issue. We can't get across to there. Right? So what do? We take this one. Spin it round. And this one, we want to make sort of... You're trying to sort of equal out the jumps. Right there's good. So now we can't use that to get onto here, so we have to use a couple options. Either go over to the bridge/gateway and use that, or you can run around to this ladder that you kick down. Get back on here. There. 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 And now we're in on the Whisper. This one always has like a pretty decent collection of mushrooms here. Before we even open that, there's the door, so now we can get to the Whisper just from down here. Super handy. Again, this one's going to cost us an offering. We don't want to give up that material. I think we might be running a little low now to be feeding 32 in. But maybe we can feed some like plagued items for bonus. And the rest we'll probably want to sell. Let's have a look. That, those. Mushrooms are useful. Let's do that just to fill the line. Okay, very nice. Another Whisper evoked. I think that's 3 on this run. Nothing wrong with that at all. We're just at about the hour mark, so I'm probably going to put in a little break here. I will just finish this little zone. Another bridge to catwalk down. This is going to open this pathway, but conveniently, there's still a walking passage to go across, even though we moved the walkway up. Okay. So I'm going to change out right here, just before I go into this next area. We'll call that the end of this particular episode. I do want to keep them right at about an hour's time. A little under, a little over is fine. But I think that's a good space to be, and they are still coming out every Friday right now. I got a few extras recorded. I got one coming up ready to go. It's almost a release date right now. So thank you very much for participating, checking this out, especially if you've stayed this long. Much appreciated. And yeah, have a good one. Appreciate you all.